I was home working on my bike when I heard loud banging. Then came the sound of splintering wood as HOA goons smashed through my front door screaming, "You're in violation." Big mistake. They had no idea who they were messing with or what was about to roll into their clubhouse. 30 bikers with military experience were about to teach them what real authority looks like. After retiring from 25 years as a Marine Corps mechanic, I moved into Oakwood Estates seeking peace and quiet. I had served 3 tours in Iraq and 1 in Afghanistan. All I wanted was a garage where I could work on my bikes and a porch to watch the sunset with a cold beer. The neighborhood seemed perfect. Great location, reasonable prices, and neighbors who mostly kept to themselves. The HOA fees were steep at $450 monthly, but they promised road maintenance and community security. What they didn't mention was the iron grip they tried to keep on every aspect of my property. My name's Jack Harmon, and for my entire adult life, I've lived by a code. Respect is earned, not demanded. Whether in the Corps or with my motorcycle club, the Iron Veterans, I've always believed in standing your ground when you're in the right. For 3 years, things were peaceful. I kept my restored Harley in the garage, maintained my lawn, and even participated in community events. The previous HOA president, Richard, was reasonable and respected property rights. But everything changed when Marcus Donnelly, a former corporate security executive with political ambitions, became HOA president. The day after the election, a new 32-page community standards packet appeared in everyone's mailbox. It dictated everything from mailbox height to acceptable Christmas light colors. Marcus strutted around like he was commanding a military base instead of a suburban community. He hired a 4-man security team that patrolled in SUVs marked with magnetic HOA logos, photographing anything they deemed a violation, from kids' toys left in driveways to grass an inch too long. Most neighbors complied to avoid trouble. Richard sold his house and moved away within 3 weeks. "This isn't the community I helped build," he told me. "Watch yourself, Jack." Marcus doesn't like anyone who won't fall in line. The complaints started small: garbage cans left out too long, oil stains on my driveway, and the American flag hanging in my garage. Marcus claimed the flag was non-regulation and clashed with the neighborhood's aesthetic. As a veteran who saw friends die under that flag, I wasn't about to take it down. The fines escalated: $75, then $150, then $300. Each one threatened legal action if I didn't comply. I ignored them, knowing they had no legal authority to enter my property. At the quarterly HOA meeting, I confronted Marcus. "That flag stayed up while I was getting shot at overseas. It's not coming down because you think it doesn't match your color scheme." He smiled that fake corporate smile. "Rules are rules, Mr. Harmon. No one is above them, not even veterans." The word veterans rolled off his tongue with disdain. After the meeting, an elderly neighbor, Mrs. Henderson, whispered to me in the parking lot, "They're doing the same to me. My late husband served in Vietnam. They said the memorial garden I planted for him violates landscaping codes." That was the first clue. It wasn't just me. The Ramirez family was fined for their kid's basketball hoop. Sarah Johnson, a single mother and ER nurse, received violations for having her porch light on outside approved hours. The hours she needed it for safety. I began documenting everything: letters, notices, and interactions. Marcus noticed. A formal letter soon arrived threatening legal action and adding a new violation: unauthorized surveillance equipment, referring to the security camera on my own porch. My buddy Mike from the Iron Veterans came over to change the oil in my Harley. Within an hour, one of Marcus' security guys was photographing us. When Mike asked why, he claimed it was a noise complaint. "We haven't even started the bike," Mike said. A violation notice for $500 showed up that night, dated 2 hours before Mike even arrived. I noticed a car parked across from my house. 2 men in the same vehicle drove by at odd hours. When I confronted them, they claimed to be security consultants. I installed more cameras. During a barbecue with my riding club, Marcus himself placed a notice on my door at 5:30 a.m., citing a violation at 9 p.m. before anyone even arrived. I filed a formal complaint, which was dismissed, and I was charged a $250 administrative fee. Then came the GPS tracker under my mailbox. They weren't just watching my house. They were tracking my movements. One quiet Sunday, I was working in the garage when the pounding started. Two men in tactical vests with HOA printed across them smashed my front door and entered without permission. Marcus and Trevor, his head of security, stood in my living room. Conducting an emergency inspection, Marcus announced, waving a paper. Trevor's hand hovered over a taser. "You broke my door," I said. "Necessary entry due to noncompliance," Trevor stated. They pushed past me into the garage, photographing my tools, bikes, and the American flag. "Non-regulation display," Marcus muttered. $750 fine. I warned them not to touch the flag. Trevor grabbed it anyway and tossed it aside. When a framed photo of my old unit was knocked over and shattered, Marcus casually noted, "You'll be billed for the cleanup." "Here's your bill," Marcus said, handing me a document for $4,500 in fines. "Pay within 72 hours or we'll place a lien on your property." As soon as they left, I called Mike. "Mike, I need the brothers now. They just broke into my house." Mike arrived within an hour with several club members. Rodriguez, a former Marine MP, confirmed, "This is breaking and entering. Criminal trespassing." Dawson, our road captain and former SWAT, reviewed my security footage, got it all on video. "This is a felony." Wilson, our oldest member, said quietly, "If they did this to you, imagine what they're doing to people who can't fight back." We mobilized. Mike reviewed the bylaws. Rodriguez and Dawson helped document everything. Wilson quietly reached out to neighbors. Over the next week, we gathered evidence and testimonies. Mrs. Henderson had her garden destroyed while at a doctor's appointment. The Ramirez family was threatened with action against their food truck. Sarah Johnson's daughter had been home alone when security entered their garage. Mike uncovered $87,000 in fines collected over 8 months, with less than $9,000 used for actual maintenance. The rest went to consulting firms, all linked to Marcus' brother-in-law, that we discovered Marcus was running for city council, using his HOA success as a platform. His team foreclosed on homes, acquired them through shell companies, and offered forgiveness for fines if residents sold below market value. Trevor, the head of security, had a criminal record and wasn't licensed to carry a taser. His team had illegally entered dozens of homes. Mike filed legal motions. We organized a public confrontation at the next HOA meeting. 27 Iron veterans rolled into Oakwood Estates that Saturday morning. Marcus tried to throw us out. "They're guests of homeowners," Mike said, citing the bylaws that I addressed the room. "Marcus and his team have been breaking laws, intimidating residents, and stealing property. Last week, they broke into my home." We played the footage. Gasps. Then the testimonies. Mrs. Henderson, Sarah Johnson, the Ramirezes. Mike presented the financial records. $87,000 in fines. $78,000 to shell companies. 3 homes foreclosed and sold to Marcus' brother Dash and Dash Law that an emergency motion passed. Marcus and his team were suspended pending investigation. Within days, he resigned. Trevor was arrested. A new board was elected. Mrs. Henderson's garden was replanted by volunteers. My flag now flies on flagpoles throughout the community. Because standing your ground isn't just about your own rights. It's about everyone who can't stand up for themselves. When they smashed my door shouting, "You're in violation," they had no idea what brotherhood looks like. Now they do.